Hello everyone, welcome to Kids Club Online. We're going to have a go at making some bunting because that lovely sunny weather has stopped for a day or two, hasn't it? It's a bit cold, it's a bit dismal, so let's brighten it up inside. Bunting is lovely to put up, isn't it? Whether it's for a party or whatever you want to put up. I made a Kids Club one, look. Can you see this up here? Kids Club, look. I wonder which one you look like, those people in the middle. Don't think that's me though. Okay, so to start with, we're going to need some triangles. I've got a piece of paper. If you haven't got a piece of paper, you might have a piece of cereal packet in your house, and you can make the triangles out of cereal packet. You might need a bit more help with the scissors because it's harder to cut. I'll show you a quick way to make plenty of triangles with a piece of paper. Okay, so I've got an ordinary piece of printer paper. First of all, I'm going to fold it in half this way, okay? So we make a nice long fold, put it down together, put the edges together, crease it down with your fingers, open it up, and you're going to cut down this crease. Okay, so you're going to get two strips. It'll look like that. Not with the folds in yet, we're going to put the folds in a minute. Okay, so two pieces like this. And with each piece, you're going to do this. Put it down, bring its end over to meet its end, and fold it. Okay, fold it down there. And then we're going to do that again, all right? Fold it over. Okay, so we've got a piece about that size. Now, if you're good at cutting and I've got very good scissors, you can do the triangles at this stage. I think it's easier if we cut this one in half. Okay, so we're going to cut the crease that goes in the middle. So we'll make what looks like two little cards. There we are. Okay, so you've got that. Take one of the little cards, fold it up like a card. Okay, so here we are with one of those little card shapes. Okay, one more fold. Okay, fold it across and press it down nice and firmly. Then we need a ruler. Okay, and you want to put the ruler edge from that corner there, top corner there, to the bottom corner over here. Hold it down and just draw with a pencil or a pen. There we go. Okay, now somebody with scissors. Maybe you, maybe you need someone older to help with this bit, okay? Just needs to cut that line. Okay, so if you're not very sure with your scissors yet, probably best to get some help with this one. If you're an older brother or sister who is very good with scissors, you can do it for the younger ones, okay? Now this is what's amazing. Out of that little card shape, we have made not one, not two, but three triangles for our bunting. Okay, open them out. Doesn't matter that they've got a crease down the middle. That's not going to show when you've decorated yours. So there we are, three triangles for your bunting. So that just came out of one of the little cards. Three are going to come out of this one. So how many is that? 6, that's right. Okay, but then you've got the other strip of your paper, which you're going to fold. Do you remember how you did it? Over that way, okay, and then over again, and then you're going to cut it down the middle, and you have two little card shapes, and they'll each make 3 triangles. So we're going to have 3 triangles and 3 triangles and 3 triangles and 3 triangles. 4 lots of 3 triangles, which is, come on, 12 triangles. Right, so that's plenty. You can make lovely bunting with 12 triangles. Wonderful. Of course, for bunting, you're going to want some string as well as some triangles. So, okay, any kind of string. Perhaps somebody will give you a piece of string, a piece of wool, or some thread. String or wool is going to be better. You want something that isn't too light and isn't going to get tangled up too easily. And then some little pieces of sellotape. Now, here's a trick. Look, if you have some sellotape, either if you cut some small pieces off, or if someone does it for you, you can stick them around the top of a cup, then it's easy to get them. Okay, so I've got one here. I'm just going to stick one piece up in the middle so that it sticks up. okay? It's sticking up at the top. Then I'm going to put my triangle by my thread and just stick it round, okay? So that's a very easy way to make some bunting. There's another piece on another triangle. Probably don't put them right next to each other, leave a little bit of a gap, okay? Because that's going to give you longer bunting when you put it up on your wall. Okay, there we are. Now this bit of bunting is not very interesting, is it? Because I haven't written anything on the triangles. And this is where you can choose whatever you want to put on your bunting, okay? Coloured bunting is nice, but bunting where you've drawn something or written something on it is much more interesting. It looks nice up on the wall. Okay, so let's put that little bit of bunting over here. Here's some ideas for your bunting. Look, this is a pretty one, look. I've done some flowers and I've written, well, I was going to write a name, but I only had 3 triangles left. So I've written Mum. You could do one as a present for someone. Or you're going to need more triangles. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. If you have one piece of paper and make triangles, you'll have 12. So unless you're called, I don't know, Nebuchadnezzar or something, the likelihood is you can fit your name on. And some ones perhaps in between or either side that have got decoration on. Okay? Here's another idea. I don't know if you've put rainbow pictures up in your windows, like a lot of people are doing, but you could make some rainbow bunting. Rainbow bunting would look nice in a window. It would look nice indoors as well. So I've just done some little rainbows along here. You could write something as well, perhaps underneath. Okay, boys, mostly. How about your favourite football team? Now, I have to admit that this is not my favourite football team, but it fitted very nicely into the 7 triangles that I've drawn. And I do know that at least one person who watches Kids Club Online is a great Charlton fan, okay? But you could do whatever your team is, and you could put their colours. I've put red here because I'm told that Charlton has red shirts, okay? Again, I mean, most football teams will fit, that I can think of, will fit at least in 12 triangles, unless you happen to be a Wolverhampton Wanderers supporter, in which case I would do a different sort of bunting, okay? And I made one at the bottom. I've written God made, and I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of creation and some of the things that God made on those days, okay? That's just an idea. These are ideas, but you'll have loads more ideas than me. So I would love to see what you do with your bunting. That would be great. So have fun making your bunting. Be lovely to see some pictures of what you do. If you want to get someone to take a photograph, and they can email it to me. My email address will be up at the end of the Kids Club today so that you know where to send it. And then we can put it on at the end next week and you can see each other's bunting that you've made. It'd be great fun. Every week when I do craft, I try to remember to say this, and I forget every week. So I'm going to say it now. Save an egg box. Okay, I've said it. Save an egg box. Right. Most people have an egg box in their house, don't they? If you have eggs, if Mum has eggs, Dad has eggs, or whoever is looking after you, if they could save the egg box, because we want to do a craft with egg boxes. But I can't just spring that on you because the egg box has probably been thrown away from the last lot of eggs. So next time you have eggs, please save the egg box, okay, for craft. In a few weeks, we'll do an egg box craft that we need the egg boxes for. Right, now it's time to do some singing. Okay, let's start by standing up. Make sure you've got plenty of room. Wide, wide as the ocean. Okay. Wide, wide as the ocean, high as the heavens above, deep, deep as the deepest sea is my Saviour's love. I, though so unworthy, still am a child of His care. For His word teaches me that His love reaches me everywhere. I'll let you sit down for this one. You ready with your fishing rods? Okay, everybody ready for fishers of men? I will make you fishers of men, fishers of men, fishers of men. I will make you fishers of men if you follow me. If you follow me, if you follow me. I will make you fishers of men if you follow me. Okay, we've stood up, we've sat down. Now we're to sit on the floor. For Peter and John, we've been doing this story, haven't we, recently? Peter and John going up to the temple and seeing the lame man there and doing, well, giving him something amazing, something wonderful. Peter and John went to pray. They met a lame man on the way. He asked them for alms and held out his palms, and this is what Peter did say. Silver and gold have I none, but such as I have give I thee. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, rise up and walk. He went walking and leaping and praising God, walking and leaping and praising God. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, rise up and walk. He went walking and leaping and praising God, walking and leaping and praising God. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, rise up and walk. The lame man got up and he walked and he leapt. What else did he do? He was praising God, wasn't he? We're going to sing, "Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good." Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. His love goes on and on and on and on and on forever. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Right, we have stood up, we've sat down, we've sat on the floor, and now we're going to be running on the spot. Going to keep everybody busy today. We're going to sing, "The name of the Lord is a strong tower." The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and they are saved. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and they are saved. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be the name of the Lord Most High. Glory to the name of the Lord. Glory to the name of the Lord. Glory to the name of the Lord Most High. Okay, sitting on your seats again for the last one. We're going to be ready to build a house on the rock, okay? And remember that what this story is about is building your life on the Lord Jesus Christ, putting your trust in him and having your life firm and secure and safe. The wise man built his house upon the rock. The wise man built his house upon the rock. The wise man built his house upon the rock, and the rain came tumbling down. The rain came down and the floods came up. The rain came down and the floods came up. The rain came down and the floods came up, and the house on the rocks strange for us at the moment, aren't they? Only a few weeks ago, you were able to go out and play with friends and do things. Everybody just went to the shops and didn't think about it. But things are strange. We're having to stay at home. If you normally go to school, then it's very different, isn't it? But even if you don't normally go to school, then you can't just go to the park and play on the swings. You can't visit perhaps your grandma and granddad and people like that you normally see. And it is very strange. And this week, I'm going to start telling you the story of somebody in the Bible at a time when it was very strange for the people of God, for the people of Israel. It was a very strange time, stranger than it is for us. Now, we have to stay at home, don't we, a lot at the moment. The people of Israel, well, a lot of them, they couldn't even stay at home because it wasn't safe. They were going up in the hills and the mountains and finding caves and narrow valleys in the rock where they could hide. Imagine that. Now, why do you think they were doing it? I'll tell you why. Because enemy soldiers were coming into their land every year, every time the farmers in Israel had planted their seeds and the seeds began to grow and the corn was getting ready to cut to make into flour for the bread and for the cakes, and the other plants were growing ready to make fruit and vegetables. These enemy soldiers were coming in, not just a few of them, not just 100 of them, thousands of them were coming. They were riding camels, a lot of them, and they were coming thundering into the land of Israel, and they were destroying all the food in the fields. They were doing that because that would make life very hard for the Israelites. It would make them weak and hungry, and then it would be very easy to conquer their land and take it over. Now you may think, why was this happening? Why was it happening that the people that God had specially chosen, that he would be their God and he would take care of them, why wasn't he rescuing them? Do you know, I think they wondered that as well. And it says in the Bible that when they saw what happened, they saw these people, many of them were called Midianites. They came from a country called Midian. And there were other people as well. When they kept coming in and destroying the farmers' crops and taking over the fields and rounding up the sheep and the donkeys and taking them away, the people cried out to God. Why, God? Why is this happening? Please help us. And God sent them a messenger. And this is what the messenger said. This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. I brought you up out of Egypt. I took you from being slaves, and I rescued you from the hand of the Egyptians and from the hand of everybody who was harming you and treating you badly. I drove them out before you, and I gave you this land. And I said to you, I am the Lord your God. Do not worship the idols that are in the country that I've given you. Do not worship them. What do you think the people of Israel had done? Well, God said, but you have not obeyed me. So this is what had happened. They'd come to this lovely land God had given them, and it wasn't very long before they began to forget the real, loving, wise, holy, merciful God who had taken care of them for so long, and they began to worship idols. Most of you know what an idol is. If you don't know what an idol is, it's something that a person makes and then says, this is God. This is my God. That might sound very strange, but people all over the world have done this. Made statues, or maybe drawn pictures, or maybe just thought of a God that they want to worship. And they say, my God is going to be like this, and I will have the kind of God that I want. They don't want the real God. They don't want to do what he says, but they want to make a god. And then they can decide, can't they, what the god is going to say to them. Because it's really just a piece of wood or just a piece of stone. And there were idols in the land where Israel settled because the people who were there before worshipped made-up gods. They worshipped idols. And you think the people of Israel would have more sense and they would listen to what God told them and they would keep worshipping the real, living God, but they didn't. Very quickly, they said, no, we're going to have idols. And they had idols. And so this messenger, this prophet that God sent to them said, that's why the soldiers of Midian are coming into your land and they're taking your animals and they're destroying your crops. And God is allowing that to happen because you've turned away from him. And the people called out to God, please rescue us. Now, for the next few weeks, we're going to be learning the story of a man whose name was Gideon. Can you see that? Look. Gideon. You say it? Gideon. Okay. And Gideon's story is in the book called Judges. At that time, the people of Israel were going a bit wild. They turned away from God in so many ways. And when bad things happened to them, then they would pray. And then they would say, oh Lord, please help us. And God would give them somebody to rule over them. Somebody who was called a judge. And Gideon became one of these judges. But we're going to learn the beginning of his story today. Okay, so imagine you're in the country of Israel. How dangerous it is. It's so dangerous. Perhaps your family is hiding in a cave up in the mountains. You've left your house and your farm because that's where these enemy soldiers on their camels are going to come riding through. You don't want to be there when they get there, do you? So perhaps you're hiding in a cave, okay. I don't know where Gideon's family was hiding, but I know that on the day when the story starts, Gideon was hiding because he had some corn and he was making it into, he was getting the seeds from the corn ready to make into flour. And he was hiding to do it. He was hiding in a thing called a wine press. I don't know exactly what his wine press looked like, but usually a wine press was a sort of round wall, quite big, quite high, where all the grapes would be put in over the top of the wall, and then inside they would be squashed down to get the juice out to make the wine. And he was hiding in there, and he was getting the seeds from his corn in there out of the way, because what would happen if the enemy soldiers saw that he had food, then he would be in danger, at least of having his food taken away. Perhaps he would have been in danger as well of being killed by the enemy soldiers. So that's where Gideon was at the beginning of the story. And an amazing thing happened. There he is, okay, inside the walls of the wine press. And suddenly, an angel of the Lord appeared to him. The angel of the Lord. When it says the angel of the Lord, in these stories, in the Old Testament, in the first part of the Bible, then it's talking about God himself coming, looking like a man, and talking to a person. So this is an amazing thing. There he is, hiding. And an angel came and spoke to him, and the angel said this, "The Lord is with you, you mighty warrior." Now, Gideon was not a mighty warrior. I don't know if he'd ever gone and fought in an army, but he was a young man. We know that because he was still living in his dad's house when he was at home in his house, and he wasn't a strong, powerful man out there fighting the enemies, was he? He was a scared man hiding in a wine press to get the seeds from his corn. So Gideon was very shocked. And also, he thought, wait a minute. The angel said, "The Lord is with you." And so he said, and it sounds a bit cheeky, I think, he said, "My Lord, if the Lord is with us, then why has this happened to us? Where are all God's miracles that our fathers told us about, saying, the Lord brought us up from Egypt. Do you remember the wonderful things God did? Opening up the Red Sea so that Moses and everybody could walk through on dry land. Wonderful things. He said, where are all those things nowadays? They're not happening. He says, the Lord has left us and he's given us up into the hands of our enemies, the Midianites. Then the Lord turned to him and said, go in your strength, and you, Gideon, will save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. I have sent you. Now that is an amazing thing to be told. You go in your strength and you save all this land, all these people from the Midianites. I'm sending you. Save Israel. My family is the weakest family in the tribe of Manasseh, and I am the least important person in my father's family. Okay, so he didn't think highly of himself, did he? He thought, I'm not very important. I'm not really this mighty man of courage and bravery. I'm not really a mighty warrior. How can I save Israel? And the Lord said to him, I will be with you, and you will defeat the Midianites altogether. Okay, so there's a promise. I will be with you. God said to him, didn't he? We've learned about God being powerful, haven't we? And if God is with us, it says later on in the Bible, who can be against us? If God's on my side, what can my enemies do? Because God is more powerful than anyone. So Gideon said to the Lord, to the angel of the Lord, if I have found favour in your sight, show me, give me a sign that it's really you, Lord, who's talking to me. Please don't go away. I want to bring an offering and put it before you. He wanted to bring something as a gift to God. So he went back home to where he was, and he got some meat, some goat meat, and he got some bread, and he put them in a basket, and he put the gravy from the meat in a pot, okay, and he took it out to where the angel was. And the angel of the Lord said to Gideon, take the meat and the bread, put them on this rock, okay, and pour out the gravy. Okay, sounds like a strange thing to do, doesn't it? But that's what he did. He put down the meat and the bread on the rock, and he poured out the gravy that had come from the meat. And the angel of the Lord, he was holding a big stick. He held out the stick that was in his hand and touched the meat and bread, and fire came up out of the rock, and it just burnt up the meat and the bread completely. They were gone. And the angel disappeared. So this is a very exciting thing that happened to Gideon, isn't it? It's an amazing thing. When this happened, when the angel disappeared, and when the food on the rock was just burnt up completely, Gideon said, oh goodness me, I have seen the angel of the Lord face to face. And that was a frightening thing. He said, I've seen God. I've seen God come to me looking like a man. Perhaps I'm going to die. That's how he felt. But the Lord spoke to him. He said, be at peace. Don't be scared. You're not going to die. So Gideon built an altar there to worship the Lord. And he called it, the Lord is Peace. At that time there was no peace in Israel, was there? There was fighting. There were these enemy soldiers coming in all the time. Sorrow and crying and screaming and yelling. There was no peace there. But Gideon said, the Lord is our peace. So that's the beginning of the story about Gideon. Next week, we're going to find out what happened next. Okay. Lots of exciting things happened to Gideon. And one of the stories, we're going to, tell you the story of a battle that he fought. He was, by that time, a brave warrior because God was with him. And God was using this person who was, well, like he said, the least important man in the least important family in my tribe. But God was going to use him for great things. God can use surprising people, people that don't seem very important, to do wonderful special things. Because it's not their strength. It's not their cleverness. It's God who's working. It's God's strength and God's power. We're going to have a memory verse this week that reminds us of that. We've come outside to do the memory verse. Blah! It's cold out here today. Now, if you were choosing someone to do a job, would you choose someone who was weak or someone who was strong? I think we'd probably choose someone strong, don't you? But God is different. Because God doesn't want people to boast that they are the people who are really in charge. This is what God does. Okay? This is our memory verse. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. And it comes from here. 1 Corinthians 1 verse 27. Have a look. 1 Corinthians 1 verse 27. Okay, let's see if we can say it together. Okay. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. 1 Corinthians 1 verse 27. Okay, see if we can say it, just look at these words. What did God choose? God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. Let me say where it comes from. 1 Corinthians 1 verse 27. One more time, looking at it. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. 1 Corinthians 1 verse 27. The memory verse will be on the end of this week's quiz sheet. Here's the quiz sheet. Have fun.
Hi, welcome back to the game session with me. Today I was kind of struggling with ideas of what game to do, and I thought we've done everything pretty much already and must be getting a little bit boring for you guys. I honestly can't think of anything. Do you have any ideas? You can't really tell me, so how do we... Oh wait, Simon, come over here. Let me introduce you to my brother Simon. Now, yeah, no, I just thought you could help us think of a game we could do together with the kids, because we've done most things before. What about Simon Says? Oh yeah, we could do Simon Says. Like, we've done it before, but, you know, we could always do it again. Okay, yeah, cool. So, the rules of the game is, what he says, you have to do, and what I say, you mustn't do. So, if he says, for example... Touch your nose. You have to do that, and if I say, lie on the ground, you mustn't do that because I said it, okay? And if you just say it, then you get out and you have to sit down for the rest of the game, or we just keep playing. Yeah, you ready? Let's try this. Over to you. Go. Touch your nose. Lie on the ground. Okay, you shouldn't lie on the ground because I said it, okay? So, you do what he says, okay? Okay, stand up, sit down, and turn around. And put your hands on your head. Okay, you shouldn't have done that because I said it, remember? Don't do what he says, do what I say. Okay, let's get a little bit faster now, I think, Simon. Because faster. They've played it before, they should be good at this. You're good at this? Let's okay. Faster. Okay, we'll do it faster. Yeah. Touch your nose, touch your toes, and touch your nose. Alright. You shouldn't have done that because I said it, remember? Don't do it. Okay, he's tricking you. Right, stand up, sit down, turn around, lie on the floor, stand up, touch your head, touch your nose, touch your toes, and jump up and down 6 times. Okay, I hope you didn't do that because I said it, remember? Okay, back to you. And do a dance. sing a song, touch your head, touch your nose, stand up, sit down, turn around, and lie down. Okay, so you hope you didn't do the last one because I said it, remember? But now I think we'll leave you there, but you can carry on at home. Yeah, of course, you can carry on at home with your parents or your brothers and sisters and carry on. And we'll see you next week. I hope you have a good week, and yeah, that's it. Oh, wait, I've got a magic trick. I want to show you a magic trick. Yeah, cool. What's he going to do? I'm going to disappear. Disappear? Yeah. I don't think you can do that. I can. You think? I can. I can. Do you think he can disappear? I don't think so. Okay. Give me a counting. Try. I want to see it happen. Come on. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Whoa! Where's he gone? Simon! 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 Where is he? Simon! 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 Simon!